Arg, Mr. Squidward! Hoist the sails, load the cannons, and swab the poop deck. Plankton is flying the Flying Dutchman, and he is after me formula. Well, I tell you this, son, he is not going to get it without a fight. Battle sessions, everyone!
Yes, Captain. Oh my god, okay, that was actually pretty fun voicing that. Like, this is kind of out of the blue, but do you guys ever just adopt a personality, like, out of the blue? Or you just start acting a certain way for no apparent reason? That is me right now, and that is just me with a whole bunch of pirate shit. It's so dumb, but here, let me just tell you the story, and in the background you can just see me speed drawing, like, Blackbeard the pirate. It's relevant. Yeah, for this whole month, I have just been consuming a whole bunch of pirate-related media. Like, I finally got around to watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Absolutely banger franchise. I love it. I just finished watching At World's End. Fucking amazing. I can't believe I waited this long to actually start watching it. And in the meantime, while I'm watching it, I also decided to finally play a game I've had in my library for such a long time. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And also, I had just been consuming a whole bunch of other pirate-related stuff. Like, I even started watching the newest season of Dr. Stone, and it's like that pirate era. So, like, just everything in my life right now is just like this perfect storm where you're just a pirate right now.
A pirate's life for me, me boy.
Yeah, just everything about being a pirate right now, it has just consumed my life. I am listening to sea shanties while I do chores. Even like while I was making this drawing that you're watching right now, dude, I was listening to all the sea shanties that were used in Assassin's Creed. Yeah, dude, and I fucking love it, man. Like, I even started drinking rum just because of Pirates of the Caribbean. Hashtag not sponsored, but I got like that bottle that is called Kraken just because of the name. And the bottle, it's not gonna lie, it's a really cool bottle. But yeah, and me watching the second movie on Stranger Tides, yeah, that was such a fun night. People say, oh, you shouldn't drink alone, it's sad, but I was having a fun time, man. Me just alone going, Pirates Ahoy! Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I just been... A pirate's life for me is this whole past month. And it's not just pirate, like, stuff. Like, everything, like, involving the sea, ships. I even started rewatching some of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob. Specifically the ones with, like, Mr. Krabs and the Flying Dutchman. Like, the music for this video is all SpongeBob, like, the sea shanty stuff. Yeah, it just, everything has to come back to, like, the theme of pirates. Yeah, and I don't know why I'm going this hard on the whole pirate thing. You know, you're like, something is so prevalent in your mind, in your life, that you actually got to make a whole drawing about it. And yeah, I just decided to draw Blackbeard out of the blue. Also, Blackbeard is also in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I kind of had to. Like, he's your boy in that game. Yeah, speaking of Blackbeard, I always thought his name was Edward Tetch, not Edward Thatch. Yeah, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, everyone refers to Blackbeard as Thatch. I always thought it was Tetch. Yeah. I just had to point that out. Yeah, let me just talk about this drawing for a bit. Yeah, I just wanted to draw a pirate, and I didn't want to draw a generic pirate. I wanted to draw the Blackbeard. You know, the swashbuckling pirate lord that sets his own beard on fire just for fun. And dude, he's so cool in Black Flag. Like, he's like this intimidating, like, awesome warlord. And you're like, damn, dude, that's the pirate I gotta be someday. And that's kind of how I wanted to draw him. I wanted to draw him big, intimidating, like that. I wanted him to look like nasty, grimy, and I wanted him to have like that crazy grin on his face. Yeah, like, I wanted to give him like an insane look, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I just really like his design in Black Flag. I just really like how he just walks around with 4 guns strapped to his chest. And I'm like, damn, dude, that is sick. And how like his hat has like that huge feather on it. I really wanted to add those features to it. Because like I never thought of like Blackbeard or pirates ever really using guns, but now I can't really like not see them with it. Like they have to have a swashbuckling sword in one hand and then a gun in the other. So I wanted to make them look strapped. I didn't really want to give them like any like too many fancy details. I kind of just wanted to give them like a straight up just black cloak, kind of like big jacket kind of thing. And I didn't really want to give it look kind of fancy at all. I gave it like a few buttons here and there, but I also didn't want to make it too dark because he's Blackbeard. He's got to wear primarily black, but you can't really make it too dark because then you can't see any of the detail underneath. So I try to strike like a good enough balance where you can see like folds and stuff, but not dark enough where you can't see anything. And I gave him like a few complementary colors, like with the bright red. Yeah, I changed the feather on his hat from black to red because I thought that looked nicer. And also just red in general just looks really good with black. So I felt like that was like a really good accent color to it. Yeah, I also wanted to make it look a bit dynamic. How like that sword that he has in one hand is just straight up pointing towards you. How it's like really huge compared to his body. So I kind of wanted to give like a slight foreshortened effect to make it look like, yeah, just like how he's pointing the sword at you. So you feel like intimidating and like, dude, you're in this guy's presence and like he's about to like fuck you up or something. I also kind of wanted to give him like an asymmetrical design. I gave him like the hand that's holding the sword, he's clearly wearing a glove, but in the other hand where he's like pulling out the gun from like his waist, he doesn't have a glove. So I kind of wanted to give him like, I don't know, something a bit more interesting. I didn't really want to give him like a symmetrical look. I wanted like one side to look different than the other. And I don't really go too crazy with the shading. I kind of just do something a bit simple where like the light's coming from the right and the shadows are on the left. So throughout the whole piece, there's just like that consistency where like the darkest spots are always like on the left. Meanwhile, the lighter sides are always on the right. Just keeping it simple. I don't really like go too crazy with like the lighting effects. I always try to keep it like simple and the light's always coming from one direction. Except for like where in his main body, like his chest, kind of stomach area, it's kind of just all dark because no light is really hitting that spot. So yeah, I don't know, just trying to explain my drawing process and what I was thinking of when I was making this piece. Yeah, and speaking about what I was thinking about when I was making this drawing, I already talked about how in the background I was listening to sea shanties because I was all about that pirate life. But I was also rewatching people's vlogs about playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I was just having it in the background, and I would always look forward to like the spots that I always had trouble with, try to see how they played it differently. And yeah, dude, I just love that game. I love Assassin's Creed. I especially love the ship combat. Dude, it's so fun. Dude, the music that it plays while you're in the middle of combat, dude, it really makes you feel like you're doing a Pirates of the Caribbean bit without actually being in Pirates of the Caribbean. I love it. The music goes so hard. It's action-packed. I love how like when you board a ship, you can just run straight up to like your sail thing, like fly straight up, and then take like a sail thing down and then just assassinate someone from like the other ship. Dude, that's so cool. I love how cinematic it is. The fighting is so cool. I mean, it's mainly just the button mashing, but like the few bits where it just goes so hard. Dude, I just love it. Yeah, let me just get back to talking about the drawing. A design feature that I really wanted to like make apparent was that each one of the guns that he has strapped to his chest, each one has like a slightly different design. I felt like it would have been a little boring if they all looked exactly the same, kind of just copy and paste. So each one of them is like slightly different, the handle a little different. Some of them have a bit more ornate design, the trigger and like the barrel part that's sticking out. Yeah, it's just like a little design feature that I really feel, I don't know, it just looks better. I really like how each gun is just, it looks slightly different. Each one has like their own design and look. This is a bit kind of off topic, but I really like the design of like flintlock type guns. Like the ones that like were used during like the ye olden times. I don't know, they just look really cool. Like I really like how they're just like really ornate, kind of decorated like guns. But I also kind of like it because those guns were made back during the time when using a gun was balanced in the same way of using a sword. Like, yeah, dude, it was balanced back then. Guns are OP now. Like, they were just single shot back then, and if you missed, then you missed. Then you gotta whip out your sword and start whacking each other with it. I know that was like a very tangenty type of thing, but hey, this whole video is just basically me rambling, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. I also want to bring up a bit more just how much I enjoyed Pirates of the Caribbean. I still haven't finished the last two movies. The last one that I watched was At World's End, and dude, I honestly regret not watching them sooner. They're like so good, especially like the second movie, On Stranger Tides. Dude, my favorite part was when they released the Kraken. Dude, it was so good. Damn, I really regret never watching these sooner. I would have loved these as a kid. And back to the drawing. The weakest part that I would say is the background. I, like many artists, struggle with backgrounds. I honestly, I still suck at them. And I wanted to do something like, I wanted it to look like almost like a landscape, kind of almost. Like it was mountaintops, like really foresty, jungle type. How the further back it gets lighter, and then the closer to the foreground it's a little darker. Yeah, I tried to get some desired effect like that. I also kind of wanted it to have like a green filter over it, so it looks like very vibrant and like colorful, and kind of just like that feel that like everything is just kind of wet and foresty. Like the top of the mountains, there's like a lot of foliage, a lot of trees. I really wanted it to look like primarily just highlights and shadows. So there's not really much detail. All you really see is just like the bare bones, like what you really need to see, like really dark areas, really bright areas. And I try to have that same kind of like effect, whether it's like trees or like mountainy sort of areas. And when there's like a lot of colors like on the screen, they kind of almost like clash against each other. So like what I plan to do was like have like a layer, like just a single layer where I use the paint bucket tool, and the primary color that I wanted to use was like I kind of like just like a bright but also kind of dark green, just so I can use that as like a filter layer, so I can make everything kind of like match up together, make it all look kind of nice. I wanted like the primary color I wanted to be most apparent is actually green. And you see how right now I'm just like messing around with like different filters, like different lighting effects, just to see. Yeah, I was just working with it, just to see which one I like the most. I want it to be like everything has like a green filter over it, but I didn't want it to look ugly. I still wanted to make it apparent that the colors underneath are still showing through. And the last finishing touch that I added was the flames on his beard, man. That's how you know it's Blackbeard. I wanted to make it look a few parts where it's singed, like they're on fire, just to make it look all intense, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Anyway, that's the finished drawing. I really hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.